Hey everyone, this is Jaeger here with Rusher's Toys, and today we're doing part 2 of our Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Velociraptor series of figures. We've already done in our first video, we've shown you guys Jurassic Park up through Jurassic Park, The Lost World. And now what we're going to do today is dive into Jurassic Park 3 as well as start into the Jurassic World line. But before we get started, I want to ask, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Make sure you turn on those notifications, as well as leave us comments in the comments section. We'll gladly make more videos for you or more content of specifically what you're looking for. But let's get started. So what we do is we're going to grab the Jurassic Park 3 figures, and we'll get started there, and then go through, and then we'll go up into the Chaos Effect. Actually, let's do it. Make sure you guys subscribe to our channel. Let's do this. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start into the Chaos Effect line first, and then we're going to go into the Jurassic Park 3. Now, one thing that I want you guys to know is I don't own every single Velociraptor figure that's ever been released. I tried to acquire as many as I could through the years. However, you know, I just don't own every single thing that Mattel has released because there's so many figures out there that it was very hard to acquire. Same with Jurassic Park 3. But I'll show you guys what I have and what I was able to find out of storage. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Chaos Effect figure today. And with the Chaos Effect, these figures had such a unique paint job. And they had vibrant paint. They were so cool to see. And I mean, guys, like these here, they did come, if I recall, correct me if I'm wrong, but they did come with capture gear too. I believe it was a lighter color. It wasn't the silver. It was more of like, I think, a brown. If I recall, I have to go into storage and find all the capture gear that I have. But basically, guys, it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same mold from 1993. It does have the DNA strand for the JP underneath of it. That was the Chaos Effect series. But you can see that, you know, like I showed you guys, like my original one, the jaw's barely open unless I squeeze the leg. It's just one of those where I think the spraying, you know, got to be a little more pushing into it. But you can see, like, this was the action feature here. Claws are fully painted. Just really cool paint job, really good playability on here. So what we'll do is we'll grab the other one so you guys can see it's the same exact figure. And then what we can show you is, like I said, it'll scale up just like the original. They didn't change anything with it other than the paint. And I mean, I can show you guys, like, there's the paint on the top, side. Yeah, right there. And then underneath, really cool. These figures were awesome. Here it is scaled with the Utah Raptor, you know, just to show scale wise. Really cool. And then what we have is the Chaos Effect line. Bear in mind, I told you guys when we did the T-Rexes from the Chaos Effect, the Chaos Effect was actually really difficult to find in stores. It wasn't always the easiest to acquire and find. Some of them you did have to order from a catalog when you actually placed your order in a mail catalog, you know, for the toys. And I remember, like, this Velociraptor was one of the coolest ones. The only thing that I have to admit, like, you guys can see that this was such a different type of figure. And the more that you find out, it was supposed to be for the cartoon series that never was released. Because, like, I remember seeing these figures showing up and I was like, this is Jurassic Park? Okay, it's somewhat different. And, you know, like, the only thing is, like, this figure here, like, look at the claws. Like, it's very it was Hasbro Kenner taking on something completely different. And I'm not gonna say that this is the greatest toy that's ever released. I also think that the Chaos Effect line doesn't get the love that it deserves in some areas, but I also think, like, this figure here specifically, not one of my favorite ones. I mean, it's really cool. This was a harder figure to acquire because, like I said, you had to place a order in the catalog and mail it in, you know, to get it. But I need to fix the batteries on this. But the action feature was, you know, it basically just growled and the head tilted down. So it looks like it's all controlled from this. And let's see, is it off the arms? You know, there it is. Because it's got this weird feature. There it is, guys. It's off the leg. That's all the feature was to it. I mean, think about it. Like, it's got the wings there, but this just was not one of my favorite figures. It was really just different. It was more like, if you look at it too, it's more of like a cartoon look anyways to it than something you'd see in the park. But scale wise, you know, it's got big claws, you know, and it did stand tall. And we could even compare it to even the Lost World one, so you guys can see, you know, it's just like scale wise, it's a lot taller. It's got a lot bigger talons on there. But like, even to the Utah Raptor, you could see like just how big it is. But you know, this was the Chaos Effect line. And one of the things that I grabbed just in case with the Chaos Effect, I don't have the cards with me with the packaging right now of what the hybrids were. And so I was trying to remember if this was just based on the Compy and Stegosaurus together, or if this was mixed with the little Raptor. But I think the more I look at it, it's not. But I figured I might show this one in here just in case. I think this was called the Comp Snagosaurus or something. So probably I just answered my own thing. But this was another figure that came from the Chaos Effect line. And you know, is like I said, guys, like, you look at these designs, they're more cartoony. They're more like the vibrant paint, something really different and unique, but also something just you could see probably why the Chaos Effect line didn't last long. I wasn't certain if this fell into the you know, the Raptor line or not, but you know, I didn't see any claws on there, but I wasn't certain. But you guys, this was another one, and scale wise, you could see just how tall it was. Even to original Grand, Dominion Grand, Jurassic Park 3 Grand, you could just see how well it's scaled. You know, the Chaos Effect line as a whole, guys, like I said, it has its own unique, but it also had some of the biggest drawbacks. Because I mean, some of the electronic dinosaurs, yeah, they weren't like the strongest sellers. I remember, I think I told you guys in the previous video, like Kmart I think was the only place that was selling the Chaos Effect. You couldn't even find them. I don't think Walmart was even carrying them at that time. I was always looking for the Ultimasaurus and being like, oh yes, I'm gonna get it. And then I remember, I believe it was available in like the Sears catalog to order, and you found out it was never made into production. So it was really disappointing. But, you know, what we'll do is we'll circle back on Chaos Effect. If there's something you guys want to make a comment on, put that in the comment section. If there's cool Chaos Effect stories you guys have, share that too. I just love hearing it and reading about it, you know, because it was a big part of my childhood, and getting to collect those things. It was really cool. But what we're going to do now is dive into Jurassic Park 3. Now, the Jurassic Park 3 line, there were multiple Raptors released, but they all use the same sculpt. And bear in mind, I do not own every single Raptor that was released from Jurassic Park 3 either. There were like Series 2 or like Camo Extreme lines. They were harder to acquire at that time. So I would say that, you know, just know, like I said from the beginning, we don't own every single one. But this was the main line release, the React Attack. This was their feathered version at that time of the feathered Raptor. And this was a really cool figure. It makes you, like, the more that I look at this figure, like when I was pulling it out before doing this video, it makes me wonder if Mattel just copied some of the gimmick from this, because I I was a big fan of the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park 3. I thought it was something cool to see, like, the feathers and all that. It was really cool to see the change. But, like, this figure here, guys, this was literally it. Like, I mean, it's a really cool figure. You can't turn the head. These figures, like the React attack line in a hole, they were not good. And I showed you guys even with the T-Rex. Because the T-Rex is the same size as this, which made absolutely no sense. Same with the Spinosaur. They were all this size, and I never understood it. But it still is better than the Jurassic World line from Hasbro that they released before they lost the license. You know, so I do like this, but you can see just how well it scales up. One of the things with Jurassic Park 3, guys, as we go through these Raptors, is they changed the line, the scale of the figures too. So this is the motorcycle from Jurassic Park 3. And then this is Alan Grant from Jurassic Park 3. So you can see just how he scales up compared to the Dominion line or even the Mattel line where they tried to scale him. He's just a hair bigger. But you can see just how well he stands next to the Raptor, which would be ideal. Whereas if you have the Kenner one, you have original Grant that stands this tall, you know, and probably isn't as accurate. But again, I don't look at just the accuracy. I just look at like playability and the fun features. But this figure here, this is all it did. It had a really cool paint job. The teeth. It did have another growling feature back here. But that was literally the only action feature on this figure. So that was the mainline React Attack Jurassic Park 3 Raptor. And there's scale-wise. Trounce is the original Kenner one. It doesn't really want to stand, so I'll hold it back here. But you guys can see that. And then what we'll do is we'll set that Raptor. And then we've got the Jurassic Park 3 female Raptor. So this actually came, I believe, in the motorcycle set with Alan Grant. This was the other Raptor that was released in the mainline. Now, here's the thing. You guys have heard, like, talking about painted claws and that. They didn't paint the claws on this. This set here was a 2-pack, came with the vehicle and Grant. There's no electronics on here. The only action feature there was you push down on the head. So realistically, that was it. There was, like I said, they like kept they like exposed the skin in that. Like, I think it was actually just like, I don't know if it was just something that they wanted to do with that React attack line because they just exposed it on all of them. But this figure here, this is the female Velociraptor. Really cool. Like I said, no electronics. The tail moved, so you had the tail like that you could do. Scale wise, you got that kind of scale, so we can stand it, you know. And what I really liked about this is it was a different kind of Velociraptor sculpt. So you could see there's Jurassic Park 3 Grant. Here's Dominion Grant. And here's Kenner Grant. So, you know, yeah, here's your Hasbro one. Your Kenner and Dominion, and you could see how tall it was. Really cool figure though. Like, guys, this is another one to add to the collection. I know that Mattel did do a the Hammond collection. They did do a Hammond collection one of that. I have it sealed in the box. I haven't opened it. I just, you know, it's one of those ones where it was harder to acquire, so I was just like keeping it sealed. However, Jurassic Park 3 did come with another release. This Raptor was exclusive to the playset that came out. That's what I loved about some of the stuff that did come out with Jurassic Park 3 is they did do some special exclusive figures and playsets that you could only get the figures with those kind of vehicles or toys. Because like the Grant, one of the Grants you could only get with the motorcycle. You couldn't get them anywhere else. And then another Grant you could only get with the playset as well as the Velociraptor. Now this is the exact same Velociraptor as the female. It's just repainted. And so this was such a cool thing though. Like, I love the Raptor. I was always a big fan of the Raptors. But one of the things that I observed with this is this reminds me so much of the React Attack T-Rex paint that I wish they would have painted it a little different instead of using those colors, but it's all right. But it's going to scale the exact same way, guys. Like you can see, you know, scale. The only playability is pushing down on the head, you know. But scale-wise, even with the Utah Raptor, you can just see you know, how big. I always thought that they were going to do a Utah Raptor. I don't know. I always thought that Hasbro was going to do it. But they did do I think it was like a posable puppet of a Jurassic Park 3 Raptor with the feathers. And that was, I think it stood as tall as a Utah Raptor. But it wasn't like for the toy line. It was more of like just another option of a figure to acquire. But this guy's right here. We've gone through the Chaos Effect. We've gone through the Jurassic Park 3 line. Now, what we're going to do in the next video, I was looking at the collection here. What we're going to do in the next video is we're actually going to do the Mattel. We're going to start with the Mattel line. Because I can tell you, I do not have any of the Hasbro Jurassic World toys. I told you guys in previous videos, I sold all that stuff. I was not a fan of it at all. The Velociraptor Blue 2-pack with Owen, I thought was really cool at that time. But again, I just did not like the Raptors. I was not a fan of any of those, like the electronics in them. I thought they were cool at the time, but the Raptors it was a huge disappointment in my opinion, and it was a missed opportunity for sure. But what we'll do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to wrap up this video here, and then in the next one, we're actually, like I said, we're going to start with the Jurassic World line. But before I wrap up, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Hit those notifications so you guys are notified anytime we drop a new video, because we do have many more dropping. If there's a certain video that you want us to make regarding Jurassic Park, Jurassic World toys, please shoot us a comment or an email and we'll gladly make that video for you and make it happen. Thanks so much everyone for watching this video. Have a great day.